Across our planet, the remnants of once great civilizations lie silent, their stories etched in stone and earth. Majestic cities, now ruins, whisper tales of innovation, artistry, and power. These structures, though weathered by time, stand as testaments to human ingenuity and ambition. The Maya, the Mesopotamians, the Minoans all flourished, leaving behind legacies that still inspire us. Their achievements in architecture, astronomy, and governance were unparalleled, yet these societies eventually crumbled, vanishing into the mists of time. Their decline raises questions about the fragility of human endeavors. What forces could topple empires that seemed invincible? Was it war, natural disasters, or perhaps internal strife and economic collapse? The answers lie buried in the past, waiting to be unearthed. Each discovery brings us closer to understanding the complexities of these ancient societies. The collapse of ancient civilizations is a mystery that continues to fascinate historians, archaeologists, and scientists alike. They delve into ancient texts, artifacts, and ruins, piecing together clues. How could societies that thrived for centuries suddenly falter and disappear? What were the warning signs, and could they have been prevented? Was it a confluence of factors, a perfect storm of challenges that overwhelmed even the most advanced cultures? Environmental changes, resource depletion, and external threats all played a role. By piecing together the fragments of evidence, we can begin to understand the vulnerabilities of these ancient worlds and perhaps glean insights into our own. Their stories serve as both a warning and a guide for our future. Lifeblood of ancient civilizations, water held the key to both prosperity and downfall. Many empires relied on predictable rainfall and fertile river valleys for their agricultural bounty. But when the rains failed and droughts gripped the land, the consequences were devastating. Crops withered, famine spread, and social order began to unravel. The Maya civilization, renowned for its complex calendar and impressive architecture, experienced a prolonged drought around the 9th century AD. This environmental crisis, coupled with other factors, likely contributed to the decline of major Maya cities. Similarly, in Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, the once mighty Akkadian Empire, collapsed around 2200 BC after a severe drought crippled its agricultural production. To reconstruct the climate of the past, scientists turned to nature's own record keepers: tree rings, layers of sediment, and ice cores. Each year, trees add a new ring, the width of which reflects the year's growing conditions. Thicker rings indicate favorable years with ample rainfall, while thinner rings tell of drought and hardship. Similarly, layers of sediment deposited in lakes and oceans capture the chemical signatures of past climates. By analyzing these natural archives, scientists can create detailed timelines of past climate change. For example, tree ring data from the Yucatan Peninsula confirms that a severe drought coincided with the decline of the Maya civilization. These records provide compelling evidence that climate change played a significant role in shaping the fate of ancient societies. Beyond gradual climate shifts, ancient civilizations were also vulnerable to sudden and catastrophic natural disasters. These events could strike without warning, leaving communities with little time to prepare or escape. Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, and tsunamis could devastate entire regions in an instant, leaving behind death and destruction. The sheer force of these natural phenomena could reshape landscapes, alter coastlines, and bury cities under layers of ash and debris. One such event, the eruption of the Thera volcano, modern-day Santorini, around 1600 BC, is believed to have crippled the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete. The eruption was so powerful that it created a massive caldera and sent shockwaves across the Aegean Sea. The massive eruption triggered tsunamis that ravaged coastal settlements and sent a plume of ash and gas high into the atmosphere, potentially disrupting global climate patterns. The aftermath of such a disaster would have been felt for years, if not decades, as communities struggled to rebuild and recover. Similarly, the Hittite Empire in Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, was weakened by a series of earthquakes around 1200 BC, which damaged infrastructure and disrupted trade routes. These earthquakes not only caused immediate destruction, but also had long-term effects on the stability and prosperity of the empire. These natural disasters serve as stark reminders of the raw power of nature and the vulnerability of even the most advanced societies to its unpredictable forces. They highlight the importance of understanding and preparing for such events, as history has shown that no civilization is immune to nature's fury. Section 5. The March of Conquerors. As empires grew and prospered, they inevitably attracted the attention of rivals and nomadic tribes seeking new lands and resources. Invasions, driven by a complex interplay of factors including population pressure, climate change, and the lure of wealth, could topple even the most formidable empires. The late Roman Republic, weakened by internal strife and economic instability, faced a relentless wave of invasions from Germanic tribes such as the Visigoths, Vandals, and Ostrogoths. Similarly, the Mongol conquests of the 13th century, led by Genghis Khan and his successors, reshaped the political landscape of Asia and decimated once powerful empires. These invasions highlight the constant state of flux and competition that characterized the ancient world, where the rise and fall of empires were often determined by the fortunes of war. Section 6. Invisible enemies, devastating impact. While armies clashed on battlefields, a more insidious threat often lurked within the shadows: disease. Infectious diseases spread by trade routes and close contact in densely populated cities could devastate populations and cripple empires. The Antonine Plague, which swept through the Roman Empire in the 2nd century AD, is believed to have been smallpox or measles. This devastating pandemic killed millions, weakened the Roman army, and disrupted trade and agriculture. Centuries later, the Black Death, a bubonic plague pandemic, ravaged Europe and Asia in the 14th century, killing an estimated 75 to 200 million people. These pandemics demonstrate the profound impact of infectious diseases on ancient societies, often acting as catalysts for social and political upheaval. Section 7. Empires divided cannot stand. Internal conflicts and corruption, often simmering beneath the surface of a thriving civilization, could weaken its foundations and pave the way for collapse. The Roman Republic, once a model of civic virtue, was torn apart by civil wars, political assassinations, and the rise of powerful generals who eroded the authority of the Senate. This internal strife, coupled with economic problems and external pressures, ultimately led to the fall of the Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire. Similarly, the Maya civilization was characterized by constant warfare between rival city-states, which drained resources and weakened the overall resilience of the Maya world. These examples underscore the importance of internal cohesion, social stability, and good governance for the long-term survival of any civilization. Section 8. Echoes of the past in a modern world. Though separated by vast stretches of time, the collapse of ancient civilizations holds eerie parallels to the challenges facing our modern world. Climate change, once a contributing factor in the fall of empires like the Maya, is now a pressing global issue, threatening to disrupt ecosystems, displace populations, and exacerbate existing conflicts. Similarly, the COVID-19 pandemic, which swept the globe in 2020, exposed the vulnerability of even the most technologically advanced societies to infectious diseases. The rapid spread of the virus and the ensuing economic and social disruptions served as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our world and the importance of global cooperation in addressing shared challenges. Section 9. Can we escape the cycle of collapse? As we confront these modern challenges, the question arises, can we learn from the mistakes of the past and avoid the same fate that befell the great civilizations of antiquity? History is filled with examples of societies that thrived and then crumbled, often due to a combination of environmental, social, and political factors. The answer in part lies in our ability to recognize the interconnectedness of environmental, social, and political systems. Understanding these connections can help us create more resilient societies that are better equipped to handle crises. Just as ancient civilizations were vulnerable to climate change, resource depletion, and social unrest, so too are we. The lessons from their downfalls are stark reminders of the fragility of human societies. However, we also possess the scientific knowledge, technological tools, and capacity for global cooperation to address these challenges in ways that previous civilizations could not. Our advancements in technology and science give us a unique advantage. The question is, will we rise to the occasion? Will we leverage our collective knowledge and resources to forge a sustainable future? Will we heed the warnings etched in the ruins of lost worlds and choose a path of sustainability, resilience, and shared progress? The choices we make today will shape the world of tomorrow. The future of our civilization may depend on it. Our ability to learn from the past and innovate for the future will determine our fate.